nature is one of the gifts that keeps on giving. Morgan Marie Menzies is a creative artist at Mermaid in Jamaica, and she's here to tell us how she uses the gifts from the ocean to make masterpieces. Welcome, Morgan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome, Mama. So tell us a little bit about the story behind Mermaid in Jamaica.
Mermaid is like a love child for me. It came about in COVID when all of us were pivoting, trying to figure out, when the world stopped and we were trying to figure out what we were all going to do. I was currently living in Bull Bay, seaside, and my son and I used to walk the beach just to have something to do, and we just started collecting a lot of stuff, and I realized I'm really good at collecting really tiny things. And a lot of them were shells, and I think shells were something that, as a Jamaican, I didn't quite recognize how many of them we have. And I collected and collected and collected, and I said, I have to do something with it. And I just decided to take up a drill, figure it out, and I kind of just came up with this concept of making jewelry.
Mermaid in Jamaica. I actually love the name. I see where you played on Mermaid from the ocean.
Yes.
And just kind of changed up a little bit. Are all the pieces that you create, are the pieces from the ocean or the coastline?
Yes. So all of the shells that I have collected, they are all organically and ethically taken from the ocean. Usually I snorkel. Sometimes I collect from the actual shoreline, but I don't manipulate anything. I just take them as they are and just kind of get inspiration from what they already look like. I use freshwater pearls as well that are also ethically taken. So everything that I do, no animals or anybody have been in danger.
Or harmed.
Yeah. And driftwood and that kind of stuff that I use in my creations.
Okay. How often would you say that you explore the coastline to find these items?
Currently, maybe not as much as I used to, because the inventory of the amount of shells that I collected is astronomical. It's actually embarrassing how many shells I
don't think it's embarrassing. Something great came out of it.
Yeah, and having so many, it's kind of funny. It sounds ridiculous. I remember every shell that I've gotten. So if I see one and I need to match it to make, let's say, like a set of earrings, I kind of already know that I have one that looks like it. So I know, okay, I can get this one to match. Because, of course, some of the times I don't get them together.
Yeah.
So I have to wait until I get one that looks similar, and then I can make a pair of earrings. So sometimes I do creations that have to take a while to make because I have to wait on a match, or sometimes I can just work with what I have already.
Okay, where do you get inspiration from to create some of these designs?
Really, it is when I see them and what they look like and it's a funny thing. Creativity is one of those things where you can't really explain it. It's really about inspiration. So when I see something that may stand out, that could be more of a pendant, then I start to look at the colors and I start to look at the shape, and I try to figure out what complements, what beads would look good with it. So it's really just about seeing it, maybe how I got it, if I snorkeled it, if I got it on the shore, how it appears to me when I see it. It's really just like magic, really. I can't really explain it.
That's awesome. How do you then ensure that your pieces stand out? I know you mentioned you've collected a lot of these different shells, and they're all quite beautiful, but how do you make sure that, guess what, each piece is creative in its own way?
I'm going to be honest, I feel like when it comes to the knowledge of shells here in Jamaica, we see them, but it's not like in Hawaii where they have an entire industry on making jewelry off of shells. I want to say that most of it is just realizing that I am trying to bring some kind of awareness to the fact that we have an excellent shell culture here. Mostly from the South Coast is where I get most of them. Okay. So usually it's just about colors. I look at colors, I look at shape, and then that kind of helps to determine how something will fall or lay on the body to give me inspiration as to what will complement with it in terms of like using different color beads, or just, some of these are cone shells and they are naturally broken at the bottom. So I just add beads at the bottom to kind of look like something dangly and very feminine. So it's really just about what the shell looks like and, how it's been tumbled or how it's been worn by the ocean itself. That kind of helps me to know how it'll wear on the body. Yeah.
How long would you say it takes you to make like a necklace, for example, versus some earrings?
Good question. Earrings, to me, take a little bit more time. I would say maybe if I have to do all of the drilling and set at the same time, maybe like an hour.
Okay.
Sometimes what I tend to do is I just choose a day where I do all of my drilling. So it gives me preparation for, if I get a order for somebody who really wants something and I don't have it, let's say readily made, I can make it within 20 minutes.
Okay.
But it's a lot of intricate work. So I use like 3 different pliers, and I have to use a cutting tool, and I have to use a drill. So sometimes it can take me some, but it's like a love language for me. So I really enjoy it. I really like to tune out the world while I'm doing it. So it's hard to place time on it because I love the time.
Yes, and you enjoy doing it. So you're not watching the clock.
Yeah.
All right, tell us a little bit about some of the pieces you have here today.
Sure.
I want you to start on your end.
Okay. So this is a type of clamshell, which means it's a bivalve. It has another half that I didn't find. So I actually know where I got it. I got this in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, and I've complemented it with glass beads. These are freshwater pearls that I use as well to complement it. This is a cone shell. I found this at Bob Marley Beach, which is just below St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Same thing, complementing with some crystal beads. This is what we call a calico shell. It's predominantly found in in Florida. Florida has a lot of them, but we get some because we share the same kind of language of ocean. So this is a calico shell. The style, I call it calico, and I like to play on the fact that, sometimes you have oysters that have pearls, which is how I came up with this design of just having pearls hanging from the bivalve.
All right, tell us a little bit about these here.
So these...
We're going to let the camera catch it. It's fine. We can see. Yeah.
So these are just crystal beads that I use as well for persons who don't necessarily like a pendant and they just like to have something, just hanging slightly. So I just use a lot of crystal beads in different colors. Same thing with these.
Right, are these pearls?
These are pearls.
Yes.
I call them Trinity, 3, obviously. And I have a lot that are just kind of going in a circle, and I call it an infinity. I usually use about 6 pearls for those.
All right, talk to us a little bit about...
different earrings. Okay.
Yes, the earrings.
So I really am playing with the same design of just having a pearl hanging from a clam. And I always have to wait on another set, like another one to make a set, sorry.
Okay,
and
so
then
I see you have it here.
Right. So this is kind of like a nod to what a jellyfish would look like.
Hey,
That's how
I see
came
it.
up with the design. And these are crystal beads that I use with non-tarnish chain.
Okay.
And cone shells as well with the same kind of design.
All right, talk to me now. Oops, my bad. Okay. Talk to me a little bit about what is this? Is this a bracelet or an anklet or?
It is a bracelet. So these are bracelets. We can do anklets as well.
Okay.
These are
our viewers get a better view.
And these would lay more like a choker or just in the nape of your neck.
Okay.
I can do different lengths. I cut them at different lengths for persons who probably like something longer, something shorter. So I like to have a conversation. Usually people see something, but maybe they want to tweak it, and I can personalize it the way that you want.
Okay, can personalize it. If I want something and you don't have it, I can just say, hey, Morgan, this is the idea that I have, and I just share it with you. Tell us how we can order some stuff from you, Morgan. Where can we find these beautiful pieces?
Sure. So my Instagram is Mermaid in Jamaica, at Mermaid in Jamaica. Same thing for the Gmail, at mermaidinjamaica@gmail.com. And I'm always available to talk. I really love to have conversations with people who are interested and they want to kind of figure out what it is that they like. And it's a really enjoyable experience for me to talk to my customers.
Oh, they're beautiful, Morgan.
Thank
you so much for sharing
your
pieces with us this morning. And I'm sure that persons will be reaching out to get these nice, intricate, beautiful pieces. So thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
That was Morgan Marie Menzies from Mermaid in Jamaica. We still have more for you after this, so stay with us.